Hello and welcome to a new video. First of all, you'll have to excuse me, I've got a bit of a sore throat today. Before we get into today's video, which is, I'm sure you can guess, is going to be a work video, this has been recorded, even though it might not be published for a couple of weeks, the day after the tragic stabbing incident on board a train not far from where I am now, at Huntingdon. And I'm sure you all join me in hoping that all those affected, make a speedy recovery, although I'm sure the physical wounds will heal a lot quicker than the psychological ones for all those affected. Now, there's something I just want to say on the subject. Now, I'm sure that my regular viewers are not in this group that I sort of feel that I must say something, but I'm sure you will agree with me. When it comes to these kind of incidents, there seems to be a very quick divide among communities. If you've been on social media, reading some of the comments on this incident, you've got people blaming certain religious groups, immigrants. Now, the full information about the people involved has not come out yet, but we do know they were British born. But ultimately, bear with me a minute, let me just get around this roundabout, we need to stop being divided, and we need to unite. And this is just my opinion. The media doesn't help all this, because they love to try and divide when anything happens. But ultimately, whether these two, or the alleged two, whether they belong to a religious organisation, whether they were immigrants, obviously we know that's not the case. It's irrelevant. The only people to blame are the ones that have gone out and done it, and anyone who has helped them, obviously. We need to remember there are good and bad in every demographic in life. And just because someone who commits a terrible act similar to this, just because they may belong to a certain demographic doesn't mean that whole demographic is guilty. Social media and the mainstream media are very quick to sort of try and divide, whatever the difference may be, and it really makes no difference. We should be united. These sort of incidents, they don't care generally who you are, what demographic you belong to. They're happy to kill and injure people indiscriminately, and I think that's the problem. Let's unite regardless, and all the hate should only be pointed towards those involved, not any demographic that they may belong to. That's all I want to say on the subject. And let's hope everyone makes a swift recovery. So thank you for letting me just have my 2 pennies worth. It's something that I feel quite strongly about over various things, where we keep getting divided rather than unite, and we blame certain groups for things for an individual or individuals' actions. So we'll move on to today's video. It's Sunday, the 3rd of November. I'm heading down to work, obviously. It's about 2:45 in the afternoon at the moment. We've got engineering works, so there's no trains between excuse me, sorry. There's no trains between Acton Town and Heathrow, and no Piccadilly Line trains between Rayners Lane and Uxbridge. So if everything goes as it should be doing, I'll be doing a Rayners Lane So Cockfosters, Rayners Lane, Acton Town, have a break, and then I'll do Acton Town to Cockfosters, back to Acton Town, back to Cockfosters, stable the train, and I've got to do a radio alarm test at Finsbury Park. So what that involves is letting the alarm go off, which when you let go of the handle, or the dead man's handle you might know it more as, after 1 minute the alarm will go off. If the handle's not depressed after approximately another minute, it sends basically like a distress call to the line control. So we test that to make sure that alarm's getting sent, and then what the control will do, they will connect to the train and they can make a passenger announcement over the tannoy for all the passengers to hear. So we just check that works. In terms of the duties I do, we do one on a Sunday at Finsbury Park, and then the other one we do is within Down Street sidings. So that's the plan. We'll see how that goes. I'm sure you've all been with me often enough to know that things don't always go to plan. So I've got an hour and 15 minutes near enough to get to work, so I'll see you when we get there. Well, it's 5:20. Train will be in about 15 minutes, but I decided to go down early. I was starting to fall asleep, so I thought, well, let's get a bit of fresh air, although it's turned cold. Still, it's what happens in winter, I guess. So on the board, it's just showing a train for Hatton Cross. The fact the line's shut down there, so whether it's an engineering train that's coming in and then heading down, I don't know. But that seems a bit strange. Oh, no, they're going to change it. No, it still says Hatton Cross. Interesting. So I've just checked where my train is. It's due in about 6 minutes, and it's at Turnpike Lane. Don't know what happened, but it sat at Caledonian Road for nearly 13 minutes. So it looks like we'll be a little bit late departing. So I've just had a phone call saying my train's coming in on platform 4, and they want me to go down to the other end to get it straight back out. Normally we would wait this end, speak with the driver, but no, they want me to go down. So my train should be the next one in, if I'm given correct information. And then we should be out pretty much on time, if that all goes right. Famous last words. And I think I'm going to have to get my hat and scarf out this week, because it says it's 11 degrees Celsius, but I'm freezing. Anyway, enough of all that. So this should be my train coming in, I hope. Train 244 we're after. Here she comes. Well, we made it to Rayners Lane without any issues, which is always good. I think we're on time. I haven't checked. I'll find out when I get to the other end, and then we'll see how long we've got before we're back out. So we are due out in about 6 minutes. So there's a Met Line train got the signal to come into the platform. Once that's done, we should be on the move. So once we get the signal, we'll head down to Acton. So we made it to Acton Town. Just going to nip to Sainsbury's and grab a couple of bits for at home. Sainsbury's local. I've got a couple of bits for at home now. I've got some lockets as well for my throat. So, and I've actually got lunch with me. So let's go sit down and have some lunch, or dinner, or tea because I'm northern. So that's my break done. Let's head down for a choo-choo. So when I was in Sainsbury's, I needed to buy a carrier bag. Now carrier bags, when they started charging, used to be 5p. 40 pence. In my day that would excuse me. In my day that would have been 4 Freddos. And now it's a carrier bag. Oh, my train's just turned up. Let's go and do some work. So I'm back at Cockfosters. We were about 8 minutes late. It was really slow from, where did we get held up? Actually from just outside Oakwood into here. Not really sure why, but anyway, we're due out actually about 30 seconds ago. So I'm just making my way down the other end and back to Acton Town. Stopping at Turnham Green. So here we are, Acton 26 sidings. So if you don't know where that is, let me just get through this door and I'll tell you. Sorry it's dark, you can't see much. So it's just west of Acton Town. And in the direction I'm walking, on the left is the eastbound fast into Acton, and on the right is the westbound fast down towards South Ealing Heathrow. It just gives you an idea of where I am. So we was about 5 minutes late leaving Cockfosters because they put a train in the depot before letting me out, and then another one had to come in. I think we're down to only 2 platforms, I'm not quite sure why. And then approaching Acton, Whiskey Lima 25, stayed red. I just assumed I was near the train. I thought, well, once it goes into the sidings I'll get a clear signal. After about a minute or so I've just called them up. In theory we meant to wait 2, but I waited for them just over a minute, called them up, and that's why we've been delayed. And they went, oh, actually, I don't know, I'll clear it for you now. So for whatever reason, the signal system just held me there. But anyway. So now, straight back up to Cockfosters, stopping at Turnham Green, and if they want me to do it, I'll be doing the radio alarm test at Finsbury Park. We are back at Cockfosters. They didn't want the radio alarm test doing, which means I was running early, so I got held at Wood Green for about 6 minutes. But we're here on time. So I'm just detraining, and then I will put this away. So that's me done. At the beginning of this video, I'm sure I said today was the 3rd. Well, today is now the 3rd, so it's gone midnight. But when I started this video, it was the 2nd. Anyway, I know once someone got really upset because I got the date wrong. Yeah, there you go. Some things are just not that important. So that's me done. Uneventful generally on these late duties on a Sunday, unless it's like bank holiday or something. They're quiet. Lots of time built into the timetable for things like the radio alarm test. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to walk out, fill my water bottle up, get in the car and sod off home. So as always, hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, take care. Good night.